So the idea is we get rid of farmers, we kill any naturally grown food, and we engineer food in manufacturing plants and laboratories. But I assure you that those guys are not eating this.
Bill Gates is one of the familiar corporate faces, and he's investing heavily in the food revolution under the guise of avoiding climate disaster.
Cows alone account for about 6% of global emissions. So we need to change cows.
And while he talks up the perceived problem, Gates is pouring money into the supposed solution: artificial meat and genetically modified crops. Crucially, anything that is invented or altered can be patented.
The core of his agenda is he wants to do in agriculture and pharmaceuticals, by the way, what he did in the computer world. True power, massive, incalculable wealth comes from owning intellectual property and then monopolizing it. They want to make it so that every single organism that is used for food is ultimately under their control, either through the 3D printing or through this genetic manipulation. So we're moving now very rapidly toward this totally centralized food system where a tiny handful of corporate interests in bed with totalitarian government will dominate the food supply so that there is only a giant public-private partnership with total control of all food, all energy, and I believe water will be next.
While the global machinations continue, thousands of farmers fear for their livelihoods. And the new UK government's first budget has multiplied those fears. By reducing relief on inheritance tax, they're penalising those who would want to pass their farms to sons or daughters.
All right, shalom, shalom. Okay, back here with another video. I'll make this a quick one. I'm going into centralizing food and water. Okay, and this is all about, Esau wanting control, which all this is going to lead into the motb, which is the RFID chip. Okay, so them wanting to centralize and control the food and the water, okay, is all a part of their big agenda. Okay, and this is what time we're in, man. And, this is why Esau has to go. Okay, this is why, in fact, let's get Job 9:24. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, so only a wicked, okay, will do some shit like this. Okay, modern GMO foods. Okay, only a wicked rulership would do the things, okay? And this is why it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, okay? The wicked being Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man, okay, which is in rulership today, okay? And they are Edomites, okay, according to the scriptures, right? They'll be ruling in these last days, okay? So, and I want to bring this out, right? This is Sirach 10:3. It says an unwise king destroyeth his people. Okay. Esau, Edom. Okay. Starting with these top elites. Okay. Is an unwise king. Okay. He rules in wickedness. Okay. You allow this GMO foods. Okay. That you're knowing that's killing the people. Okay, but that's all a part of them and their population control. Okay, of them trying to push forward their agenda. All right. It says an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Okay. So a wise king, okay, wouldn't do the things, okay, which is what Esau is doing. Okay, and this is why you have people mourning. Okay, let's get Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Okay, and the people are mourning right now. Okay, high taxes. You have food. Okay, this food that Esau put out here is killing the people. Okay, you got people that can't, elderly people. Okay, that's struggling out here. Okay, that can't get medical insurance. All right. So Esau, being his own wise king, okay, is creating food, okay, that's destroying the people, okay. And not only that, from the chemtrails that's put out here, okay, he destroying the air that he breathes, okay. So Esau, he's not as bright as you think he is, man. Right? But here you have people trusting in Esau's system, and this is what they want. Okay, because if they centralize the food, the water, okay, all that's going to lead to is making you being more dependent on this system, and that's what they want. Okay, for you to condition you to take that chip. All right. So, and this is why they are creating, okay, this collapsing this economy on purpose. All right. That way they can move to the centralized food, centralized water. Okay. Creating these man-made famines. Okay. You got the war going on in the Middle East right now with the Strait of Hormuz. Okay. All that's being orchestrated, okay, by these top elites. Okay. That's a part of their agenda. Okay. The data centers that's popping up. Okay. The urgency to push these data centers. Okay, Revelation 12:12, because Esau knows he has a short time. All right, so now you see a lot of complaints with these data centers popping up. Okay, so this people are in mourning. All right, and it's because, going back to Sirach 10:3, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Okay, here you are in your rulership, right? Okay. You have the power, okay, because the earth was given, okay? The earth was given to the wicked, right? But here you're using your power, okay, that where you were given, right? But we already know, okay, what your purpose is, right? But that's why the scripture says, let favor be shown to the wicked, right? Let's get that real quick. Let's get Isaiah 24:4. No, that's not the one. No, Isaiah 26. Right, this is Isaiah 26:10. It says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. Right. So here, the power is in your hand, right? To get the earth in order, right? But you decide to do wickedness, right? So it says, let favor be shown to the wicked, right? Yet will he not learn righteousness, right? Okay. Because he was only created to be the wicked. Okay. That was his whole purpose. Okay. To do these things, these wicked things, right? It says, in the land of righteousness will he deal unjustly, right? Here you're claiming to be the people. Here you got the Holy Land, okay? And that still ain't enough for you, okay? Because you were created to be the wicked, okay? Will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord? Read this again. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Here you got people thinking that you're the people. All right. Here you got the Holy Land. Here the world is in your hands right now. Right. That's favor being shown to the wicked, but you will not learn righteousness, okay, because it's not in you. All right. And this is what a lot of people not understanding. Okay, you can't do good. Right. So you creating this, all these things, okay? You know, for the ones that do know, but for the ones that don't know, okay, it's all for a purpose. All right, it's because you gotta understand this devil. Okay, let's get Psalm 64. I think this is Psalm 64:5. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, "Who shall see them?" They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Okay, deep in wickedness. Okay, centralized food, centralized water, all is going to lead to dependence of the system. Okay, so they already accomplished that diligent search and how they're going to move about these things. Okay, so all they doing is that, okay, these are their schemes, okay, that they have these secret society meetings, okay, where they accomplish this diligent search, okay, and how to steer the cattle, okay, which is the people, okay, to depend more on the system. All right, that's where they can get you prepared to take that chip, right? So all these things that you're seeing taking place, okay, is a part of leading all into that MOTB. Okay, this is what people gotta understand, man. It ain't a coincidence. Okay, they have some purpose behind that. All right, and they already accomplished that diligent search. Okay, through left hand practices. All right. It says both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart of them is deep. Okay, that's wicked, man. Here you creating fake food. Okay, and defiling the food. Pretty much, this is why you don't even see fruit trees growing. You get food, they don't have the seeds in it anymore. Okay, because this devil did that. Right? He don't want you to grow your own shit. Right? Let's get Micah 2:1. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity, and they work evil upon their beds." Okay? So them trying to push their wicked agenda, okay, devise iniquity, their plans, okay, their wickedness, right? They do it behind closed doors, okay, their little meetings they have, okay, they accomplish a diligent search on how they're gonna go about it. Okay, they go praying and through the minds of the people, okay, and how the people operate when their food shortages happen. Okay, they already did a diligent search on how when a crisis hit, people go rushing to the store and they freaking just clear out the fucking shelves. Okay, so they know how people panic. Okay, so they accomplish out the diligent search and how to move and how to execute, okay, their agenda. All right, it says, "And work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand." Okay, so let favor be shown to the wicked. Okay, let's go back to that. I don't want to butcher it, but it says, "Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness?" Right, in the power. Going back to Micah 2:1, it says, "Because it's in the power of their hand." Okay, so it's in the power of their hand. Okay, to change this for good. Okay, to do right, but it's not in them to do good. Okay, favor has been shown. Right, here people think that they're the people. Here that they got the Holy Land. Here that they got their influence on the earth, but it's through wickedness. All right. So creating these modified foods this is what's killing the people, the food. Okay, that's why the scripture says it says Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction. Okay, so understanding that this world we live in is polluted, is ran by the wicked. Okay, this is why the food is killing you, the air that you breathe. You get these headaches out of nowhere, nosebleeds out of nowhere. All right, because we are under wicked rulership. Okay, we're not under righteous authority. Okay, and this is why the people are mourning. All right. So, the food, okay. The scripture says in Ezekiel, right, 4:13, it says, and Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, where I will drive them. Okay, so that this food that we'll be eating, okay, will be going against, okay, it will be unclean foods that we're not supposed to be eating, but they put pork in damn near everything. All right. So that's us eating our bread defiled among the Gentiles. Okay. This is why this devil has to go down. Okay. And the earth is the earth is out of it's out of course. All right. Let's get that real quick out of Psalms 82:4. This is Psalms 82:4. Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. Okay, Esau. The poor and needy are the Israelites. They know not, neither will they understand that they walk on in darkness. Okay. And a lot of Jake, they don't understand that. Okay, they don't understand that we are in a wicked world. Okay. And it says all the foundation of the earth are out of course. Okay, so everything is turned upside down. Okay, why is that? Okay, because the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, people don't understand that verse. This world that we live in today, okay, is ruled by wicked rulers and wickedness. All right. Let's get Isaiah 24:4. This is Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and faded away. The world languages and faded away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Okay, so the earth mourneth is creation itself. Okay, why is that? Okay, because of sin. Okay, sin and being under the rulership of Esau. Okay. So it says the earth also is defiled. Okay. The earth is defiled. Okay. Through this rulership that we're in. Okay. The food, everything is upside down. All right. Everything is going against, okay, the creation of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the laws and the reason for the laws, okay, is defiled. Okay. It says, reading, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world language and faded away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. Okay. And this is going into, just look what happened with the economy collapsing. Okay. But they're doing it on purpose. Okay. The economy is collapsing. The food is defiled. Okay. Why is that? It says the earth is defiled under the habits thereof. Why? Because they have transgressed the laws. Okay. Therefore, the transgression of the laws, the change of the ordinance, the broken of the everlasting covenant, which it starts with the Israelites. Okay, we did it first, but now this applies to this devil. Okay, because the way that this devil rules is with wickedness. Okay, the earth doesn't yield its strength like it used to. Okay, because this world is ruled in sin. All right. It says, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they dwell wherein are desolate. Therefore the heavens of the earth are burned, and few man left. Okay, and this is what we're seeing, man. Going to this word languish. It says to be weak, to droop, to a language, to be exhausted. Okay. And this is what state that the earth is in. Okay. It's not in its full strength. Okay. Underneath this of this rulership, because Esau then made this world a wilderness. All right. So all this what you're seeing is going to lead to the chip. Okay, which is with this economy crashing, economy crisis. Okay, all it's going to do is accelerate this. Okay, to a centralized water and food. Okay, you already got a couple states, okay, facing drought. You got and running out of water, right? And it doesn't help because all these data centers are popping up all these places, and they take a lot of water per day, right? To keep the servers cooling. Okay, because that's what uses to cool these data centers are cooling towers and chillers. Okay, what's used instead of using Freon like a regular AC unit, they use water. Okay, to cool the system, chilled water. All right. So, you got there was the other thing I was reading how, they are offering farmers money, okay, to build data centers, okay, on their land. All right. So this is the time we're in, man. If the elders of GMS been speaking about these things, man, and these prophecies that are coming off jumping off the page. All right. So that's all I got through the spirit. I hope this video was edifying. I want to say shalom.